naast mij zit een man die ik eigenlijk nog niet ken. Althans, ik ken zijn liedjes, maar ik weet nog niet hoe hij als persoon is. En hoe hij is, wie hij is, dat probeer ik een klein beetje te ontfutselen door hem te vragen naar zijn 5 essentiële tracks. Let's just start off and let's see where the therapy comes in. By track number 1, what's your first essential track?
I think my first essential track that I've written to date is When You Love Someone, and that song has been important to me just because it came from a real place. The song's about kind of two parents explaining to a child they're going to get a divorce, and I was teaching kids instruments and not too long ago after school, and one 11-year-old pupil of mine, his parents are going to get divorced, and he didn't know it was going to happen. So I wrote the song for him, and it's kind of been the most gratifying song that I've written.
And I believe it's your big break. I mean, have you kept count of the millions of streams already on Spotify?
Well, that's been a real surprise, and I'm very lucky to have all those streams. But now I'm kind of looking more onto what's next. But yeah, seeing that it's on charts and doing well is wonderful.
I can imagine, especially this song with such a clear theme, what it's about, connects with a lot of people because it might have happened to them. Right. Are people maybe sending you messages or texting you with thanks or maybe marriage counseling?
Yeah, well, I don't think I'm going to be doing any counseling, but people have, tweeted me and messaged me and saying that they just appreciate the fact I wrote the song, and that has been one of the nicest messages to receive as well as a musician. So I'm glad. I only wrote the song for one person, but the fact that it's helping lots of people is great.
Sometimes moms and dads fall out of love, sometimes two homes are better than one. Some things you can't tell your sister 'cause she's still too young, yeah, you'll understand.
How's the kid? Have you spoken to him recently?
I didn't take the song to him. I was hoping he'd hear it by himself. So I don't know if he's heard it or not. At this
Probably
moment.
by now.
Probably. Yeah. I'd hope so.
How long ago was this when you talked to him?
I was teaching him about 3-4 years ago. So this was a while, but only kind of recently did I think of the idea to write the song.
Can you imagine the moment when this kid, now 3 or 4 years older, this song comes up everywhere, and at a certain point, he'll probably realize, wait a second, this is about me.
Yeah, that would be a very weird feeling, quite a scary feeling. I think.
Scary, maybe, yeah?
Yeah, definitely very scary.
Track number 2 in your 5 essential tracks. What's number 2?
Number 2, I'd say, is a John Mayer song, and it's Neon off his first album. That song, I remember discovering John Mayer on YouTube, and my dad and I, my dad plays guitar as well, so the first thing we really admired about him was his guitar skills. And I remember Neon being the track that was the most difficult that we'd seen to date. And I told Dad that this was going to be the next cover I did on YouTube. And he said, oh, yeah, right, yeah, you'll learn it. So I went to my bedroom and I locked myself away for a few days and really kind of stuck to it. And then I told Dad, I'm ready, let's do this. And we knocked it out in one take. And then that song, that cover I did, became kind of the into the industry for me through my manager and through Shawn Mendes and into my record label.
What's so hard about the song? I mean, I know the song, I love it, but I have absolutely no understanding of guitar playing whatsoever. Sure. What's the hard part?
Well, basically, first of all, it's a lot to do with picking. There's a lot of songs nowadays are about strumming, and but he likes to do kind of intricate, tricky picking patterns, and that's hard in itself. But then when you have to sing at different times on top of that was when that took me the bulk of the time to kind of figure it out. So it did. But I'm very kind of proud that I learned it, and I'm trying to teach Dad. He's still kind of getting there slowly, but it's been just an important song for me.
To see the colors and the city lights, a trail of ruby red and diamond and white, it's like a sunrise.
You managed to cover it, and successfully. I remember John Mayer on his Continuum album. He covered a Jimi Hendrix song, and he said it took me so many years to finally, take an attempt at covering this great hero. Was there any doubt for you to? Can I pull this off? Can I cover John Mayer?
I think I've been in that position where when you think of kind of legends and people, for me, James Taylor, I tried to cover James Taylor, and I ended up just saying I'm going to leave it because it would be such an honor to do it well, but you get a bit scared, I guess. So, but with John, because he's still a current artist, I kind of they're the type of people I was covering at the time, so I wasn't that afraid.
Could that be a goal? Like, I wouldn't say it was his goal, but he finally achieved. He came to the point where he was okay. I'm gonna do a Jimi Hendrix song. Could James Taylor be that point for you?
I definitely think so. At some point, I will definitely do a James Taylor cover and release it. But I just want to keep working on it, I guess, for however many years. Yeah.
No rush.
No rush. Definitely no rush.
Track number 3 in your 5 essential tracks.
Yes. So track 3, I'll do another original, and this next one is called For You, and it's unreleased at the moment. I played it a lot on the support tour I did with Shawn Mendes. And this song was a bit of a breakthrough for me in terms of songwriting because till I wrote this song, I stayed within a very certain kind of range vocally. And lots of people in the industry were telling me this and saying, oh, you should try expanding. And I guess I just never really figured out how to do it and whether I was comfortable doing it. But then I went into this session with a guy in LA, and I told him this, and he was like, oh, well, let's just go complete as high as you possibly can go. And that's what we did with the song, and then it ended up working really well, and fans are enjoying it.
You've been playing this live already, but like you said, this probably will be on the album?
This will be on the album, yes. Yeah.
When does that due?
The album is due this year. I'm kind of spending a lot of time in the first quarter of this year recording it. My main producer is kind of in LA and Venice, and I'll go there and work on a bunch of tracks. So I summertime, I'm hoping to get it out.
Got me opening doors when I didn't before. For my glasses I fancy, but not anymore.
Is working in a place like Venice, can we hear that in your music? Being in a special place could, come to life when you hear the songs. Is Venice a place for you?
I think the place that I'm in can inspire the songwriting element, but in terms of production, because all producers are inspired by other producers from Europe or from the States and anywhere in the world, I think there isn't necessarily an American sounding song for me, or even a British sounding song. It's just whatever I feel at the time is the best kind of accompaniment for the song.
And when away from home, like say Venice, sun, loneliness. I know.
Yeah, I've written like songs about that. There's been some sun and loneliness songs, but that's normal. I think for me, I've written a lot of the same song plenty of times, but it's about finding the one way I said it, which comes across authentically, by itself.
Cool. Track number 4, I believe.
Track number 4. I'm going to start losing count soon. I'll go with a cover that I've done is Torn by Natalie Imbruglia, and the original song was released the year I was born in 1997, so that's a kind of a cool thing for me. And I covered this song. It started as an acoustic cover, the way I played it today, and then I took it to a producer, and we wanted to do something very different with it, production-wise, something that would separate it from the original completely. And we did, and we released it on kind of online, and that was the first song really for me that started to get millions of streams and got the attention of people. So it's been really, really helpful in my career.
I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. I'm cold and I'm shamed, lying naked on the floor.
How did you get to know this song? But like you said, it was released the year you were born, so
right.
You might have heard it. Don't think you remember that one.
Yeah, I think I'd heard it on movies as kind of a soundtrack, but I obviously wasn't remembering when it was released. Yeah.
And how about your dad? He plays guitar as well. Did he pass on a lot of music to you?
Yeah, I mean, my dad certainly influenced what I listened to growing up, and a lot of it was singer-songwriter, Damien Rice, James Taylor, and early Maroon 5, all that kind of stuff. It still lives with me today. But there was a lot of kind of soul music, especially, that I discovered when I was growing up, and I took a huge preference for, and I'm trying to kind of show that in my music too.
And this specific song, Torn, it's part of your history breaking through as an artist.
Right.
But before that, it kind of got your attention. Can you tell me what was about this specific song?
The specific song. That's all good. Yeah, for me, I just wanted to do a throwback cover, a cover of a slightly older song. And I went through a bunch from Gangsta's Paradise to Torn to just trying to find something that would work with me as well. And I found this song, when I played it, suited my voice the best.
Track number 5 in your 5 essential tracks.
Track number 5 for me is A Team by Ed Sheeran. And I remember, I think I was 12, 13 when the song came out and when Ed was really rising in the UK. And I just remember listening to it and being kind of inspired by the fact it was a very unique concept, what the song was about. Mm-hmm. And although it had, great melody and it had a great production around it, it kind of inspired me to want to find concepts in my songs that people hadn't heard before. Yeah. And I'm still trying to do that today.
They say she's in the class A team, stuck in her daydream, been this way since 18, but lately her face
before you heard the A Team, mm-hmm. Can you tell what kind of subjects were you writing about then?
I mean, then it was, it's what it continues to be, relationships, yeah. And not wanting to stay in school and just anything that was close to me. But then also the fact that he looked into someone else's life and was able to write a song kind of for them, similarly to When You Love Someone. I started doing that afterwards as well. I started to try and find inspiration in other people's worlds, mm-hmm. instead of just my own, which got a bit samey after a little while.
Well, this could end up like you not wanting to write about yourself, but just looking for other people's stories, which are very interesting.
Right.
But do you write about your own feelings? Do you open up to the world through songwriting about what you feel? Yeah,
I mean, the majority of the album is going to be about my life and about how I feel about certain things. And like I said, it's a therapy, but I'm not someone that opens up easily anyway. So the songwriting is one of the only ways you're going to find out a lot about me, I think.
Well, looking forward to finding out more about you through the album.
Yes.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Cheers.